It has been a year, but I have part 2 of the how to work with liquid latex video for you today. So a year ago I did how to work with liquid latex and tissue, and today I wanted to show you how you can make your own latex paste and work with it directly on your skin or make little prosthetics with it like this one. So if you want to know how to make a liquid latex paste or how to work with it directly on your skin or create your own prosthetics with it, please keep watching because I will show all of this to you in the coming video. So if you want to make a latex paste, you definitely need your liquid latex and you need flour, and we will mix these two until we get a nice and smooth looking paste. As I haven't decided yet how large my wound is going to be, I'm just going to get a little bit of latex in a cup. So it doesn't have to be a crazy amount of latex, but well, depending on what you want to make, you might need a bit more or a bit less. So I've got just a little bit in the cup. So I will mix the flour with the latex, but I won't put it in all at once because I don't want any lumps in there. I will just put it in bit by bit, and if you want to get an estimate on how much of each you need, I think if you have 1 part of latex, you would need half of that in the flour. I'm gonna try to show you, so I'm just gonna put a bit of the flour with the latex, not too much, and I'm gonna mix it until I get a smooth surface to it. I'm doing this with my spatula, but you could also use a fork or well, something different to mix with. And when you think you have a nice mix of your flour and latex, you will just add a bit more of the flour to make the latex a bit thicker. I'm kind of getting a paste. It's not thick enough. If you add too much flour, the flour will absorb all of the liquid that is in the latex and you will just get something you can't work with. And there is my latex paste. As you can see, it is very thick and it looks very creamy. It only still smells like liquid latex does. So I'm gonna apply this to my skin using the spatula, and to help me I've got a little cup with just the liquid latex to smooth out the edges, and it prevents the latex from sticking to everything it touches. So let's make a few wounds. So as you can see, it's very thick. It stays on my skin where I put it. You can build up real nice stuff on live cast using liquid latex paste. What do I want to create? I don't really know yet, but it's definitely going to be wounds. What kind of wound do we want? We want something severe. Something Halloweeny. Just some latex, no paste, just the plain latex on my spatula. I'm going to work out the edges of this wound. So you can keep playing with this until you are satisfied. Be careful when using liquid latex near your hair. It does come off, but it's a pain in the ass to remove. And you can also already kind of see that it changes color. This is a bit more yellow than the new bit I just put on my skin. And that is the latex drying. You could also use this to build up zombies or aliens directly on the skin. I really love working with latex paste. Be careful for your eyebrows. Maybe I should have figured out what I was going to make before starting filming this tutorial. Well, it's okay. It's like a Halloween gig when you don't know what someone wants that will sit down in your chair. The latex paste I just put on my face has to dry, and while it's drying I thought, well, maybe I could use the last bit of the paste to show you how to make very cool and easy prosthetics. So I have my mixing palette and I have the latex paste, and I will just get it from the cup I mixed it in and put it on the palette. Well, it's white and white, so that isn't the best plan in the world, but you can smooth it out a bit the way you want to using the clear liquid latex without any of the flour mixed in there to get it nice and smooth. So I am trying to show you and do it at the same time, something like that. And you can make the wound any way you want. There it is. I hope you can see. I'm just gonna get a nice texture in that wound, so we have got something interesting to watch if we apply it to the skin. Now I get my finger into that liquid latex and just smooth out the edges until they look really nice and smooth. There is my latex paste prosthetic I just sculpted on my mixing palette. I know it is far from perfect, but well, I did it in about 2 minutes. I'm gonna put this in the oven very quickly because I want to show you at the end of this video what it looks like if you use it as a prosthetic, the paste I mean. I'm gonna put the oven on 60 or 70 degrees, I guess. So not too warm, just enough to get it from drying faster than when I would just air dry it. Yeah, putting this in the oven and continuing with the makeup. I didn't really think of this, but while making the tabletop prosthetic or the latex paste prosthetic and putting it in the oven, it does make an annoying noise, so I'm sorry for any background disturbances you hear at this point. That is the oven. So I have the latex paste on my skin, and the temperature of my skin does help the latex from drying, but if you want to speed up this process, you get yourself a blow dryer, and mine is from the Stone Age, but when you put it on the latex, it helps to dry the latex. So that is what I'm gonna do without any sound on the video because that makes a lot of noise. But here we go. Yes, and now I'm very hot, but the latex has dried. Well, probably it isn't dried 100% through and through, but it is enough for me to work on for the rest of this tutorial. So the first step now is to get the latex that will be skin in my skin tone, so that is the outside of the wounds. And as always, I will work with my alcohol activated makeup just because I love working with them the most, and I have the skin cover up palette by Encore to do this with. If you don't have an alcohol activated makeup palette, that isn't a problem. You could definitely do this part with grease paint, maybe tint down with a bit of alcohol, or maybe even water-based face paints, although I must say I don't really like how water-based face paint behaves on latex, but that could be a personal preference and it might work perfect for you. So the Encore palette and some alcohol to continue and give myself some skin tone back. The large stipple brush by Titanic Effects, I really love their special effects makeup brushes. So I'm just stippling everything. I don't really care if the inside of the wound gets a bit of skin tone as well, because I will just color it red in the end anyway. So definitely not the best skin tone I ever did, but I'm continuing to the blood palette and I'm gonna work with this from the lightest red to the darkest red and just combine it until I get a nice and gruesome looking wound. A short break from the makeup to go back to my tabletop prosthetic, which now smells like foam latex because that is what I usually bake in my oven. But as you can see, it has almost, well, yeah, almost. It has almost completely dried in the oven. It took about, well, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I'm gonna get this off the mixing palette to show you how you can use it. I will not apply it to my skin because I think there are wounds enough on there, but I definitely wanted to show you how to. So I have the latex on the mixing palette and my setting powder. This is the color set powder by Meron. I'm gonna cover the entire top of the prosthetic with the color set powder. So it's kind of becoming a 2-in-1 tutorial today. So the powder, the prosthetic, and just powder the entire thing with enough powder to make it snow where you are. So what you don't want to do is just get everything off at once. Latex sticks to latex. So if you would do that, you would get nothing because the latex will stick to itself and you can't undo the damage that you do. So get yourself a smaller brush and dip it in the powder and make sure that there is powder under it immediately. And then you will just powder it and get everything that is on there loose. So I'm not really sure if I'm showing you any of this, but my intentions are good today. So just bit by bit with loads of powder, just get rid of the latex on that mixing palette. Just a bit more of my powder, and with the powder you get those nice, very thin, clean edges. I will show you when it's off the palette completely. And that is all for the latex paste prosthetic. So you can just make loads of these and take them to any gig you are working and stick them on someone and you are done in, well, 10 minutes. So any haunted house or any, well, Halloween event or scary party, they are amazing and quick, and you don't really need anything else, just the paste and some creativity to sculpt them, but no molds, no strange baking processes like with foam latex or all those steps with silicone prosthetics. When you are a beginner, I definitely say this is the easiest and the fastest way to go. Back to this wound, I have colored my skin tone and I'm quite happy with how it looks at this point. So we are continuing to blood, and I have 2 of the Vermilion FX bloods. This is the cloth paste and this is the sinewy blood gel. They are both a paste. This one is slightly darker than this one, so I guess I will put the cloth paste on my wound first and then continue with a bit of the sinewy blood gel. So not only the colors of these two are very different, but the texture is as well. So if you want to know the difference between all of those Vermilion FX thick bloods, I have a video I uploaded a few weeks ago showing the difference in these lovely bloods. And I will just try to get this in the deepest parts of that wound without losing any of its texture. That sounds like impossible, and it kind of is, but I'll try it anyway. Onto the sinewy blood gel, which is very slimy, stringy blood. Once again, I have the video showing you all of them, but I will just smear this in the wound. For the thin blood today, I'm going to use the Venial blood by Mold Life, and I'm just going to put the blood in the wounds and we'll let some of it run out of there in a bit. But to start out, I will just put blood in there. Then I'm going to put some blood out of those wounds and just mop it up like I always do with a baby wipe. Because if I would have these large wounds, there would be blood everywhere. So I know this looks absolutely insane, because who would put all those details on there just to put blood everywhere? But I will remove most of it. That is why I'm just attacking my entire face with blood at this moment. So that is most of it gone again, but the orange stains would be for me grabbing my face. If I would, well, I still don't know what would have happened to me to look like this, but I would definitely grab wounds if I had them like this. So I'm gonna try to get the dripping effect going from the wound on my forehead. With the blood, my tutorial for today is done. I wanted to show you how you can work with a liquid latex paste, so liquid latex and flour. I made wounds with them today, but you can definitely make a zombie brow, a vampire brow, well, a witch's nose, anything you can imagine you can make with the liquid latex paste. And you can work with it directly on your skin, or you can make your own little tabletop prosthetic with it. It would take a day, I think, to air dry. You could put it in the oven like I did and have it quicker. This isn't dried completely, but it is good enough to work with. So if you want to prepare for Halloween, you can make some for yourself and choose the most pretty or most gruesome one to put on your skin. But you can also prepare them for big events, haunted houses, well, Halloween parties, scary stuff. Very convenient, very cheap, very quick, easy, not a lot of techniques required to make these tabletop latex based prosthetics. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe in the link below to stay tuned on all our videos. For now, I wish you a wonderful day, and of course I hope to see you back. Bye!